Griffith's third grade class. We are your hosts for our March Awards Assembly.
I'm Aria. I want to tell you about our Bright Futures Blue Barrel collection for this month. This month we are collecting toothbrushes and toothpaste for hygiene kits.
Hi, I'm Connor. Our first awards of the Wildcat of the Month are in our Service Above Self. The Wildcat of the Month is given to two students in first, second, and third grade. The Service Above Self award goes to the third grader who gives back in some way. Here's our counselor, Mr. Graber, to present these awards.
Hey Wildcats! We're here to announce our award winners for the month of March. So we'll start with our Service Above Self, which is sponsored by our Harrisonville Rotary Club. And this month's recipient is third grader Reagan Passau. Congratulations, Reagan. Our next awards are Wildcats of the Month, which are sponsored by our Harrisonville Police Department. And we'll start with our first graders. So our first grade Wildcats of the Month are Ember Berger and Jairo Garcia. Congratulations to those students. Our second grade Wildcats of the Month are Devin Huckabee and Zoe Wayont. And finally, our third grade Wildcats of the Month are Hadley Wyatt and Dane Clausen. So congratulations to all of our Wildcats of the Month. And finally, Mrs. Sumner and I every month select a counseling class that we feel shows collaboration and kindness and great discussion. So this month's counseling class goes to the third grade class of Mrs. Hawkins, who had a great discussion about careers the other day. So congratulations to that class.
I'm McKinley. I want to remind you that there is one more staff learning and collaboration day this year. There is no school on Monday, April 15th.
I'm Annabelle. Next up are Character Trait Award winners. The Character Trait Awards are given to two students chosen by their classmate, their classroom teacher who has exhibited optimism during the month of March. Here's our assistant principal, Mrs. Stroud, to announce this month's winner.
And congratulations to all of our character trait winners. Natalie Beggs, Zayden Wayant, Brantley Baxter, Sky Logan, Lyrics Culver, Aria Herndon, Britton Schroeder, Winnie Hogan, Adeline Roberts, Rowan Edmiston, Felicity Gary, Charlotte Doherty, Ellie Hockholder, Spencer McDowell, Alan Nugent, Dane Clausen, Hadley Wyatt, Tucker Borgo, Annabella DeMaro, Jackson Gregory, Chase Peschel, Raymond Trusty, Zoe Beebe, Ellie Evans, Lola Jones, Erickson Allen, James DeLeon, Soraya Kenny, Kyler Carroll, Michael Hodges, Isabella Stallings, Malia Ford, Edward Sidwell, Armani Hampton, Xavier Marin, Ben Randazzo, Talon Vassar, Carmen Calvin, Eddie Izaguari, Blake Taylor, George Wyatt, Eris Peterson, Colton Nutter, Naomi Hoskins, Alex Saunders, and Lee Phillips.
I'm Shaylin, and I wanted to remind you that information about summer school was sent to families earlier this week. Summer school will run May 20th through June 14th from 7:30 to 2:30 each day. Make sure to sign up today. I'm Jack, and our Mathematician of the Month is the next award. This award is given to one student, chosen by their classroom teacher that has done an outstanding job within the math over the past month. Here's Ms. Shroud to announce our winners.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of our March mathematicians. Malachi Francis, Remy Rogers, Alyssa O'Connor, Remy Larkham, Davina Korf, Bentley Duffy, Oliver Moreland, Jackson Taylor, Owen Campbell, Ridley Gentry, Aiden Peak, Oscar Wise, Finnegan Parkhurst, Bryce Gregory, Sammy Killingsworth, Rylan Hunt, Nash Berslavich, Jackson Dunn, Dominic Garcia Resendez, Levi Knox, Richie Mallet, Andreas Lamelli, Stratton Warner, and Caden Steerdorf. Great job, guys.
I'm Colin, and since we just saw Mrs. Schrapp, I want to take a opportunity to thank her for everything she does for us at HES. Happy Assistant Principals Week.
Hi, I'm Corbin, and I'm here to introduce our special teacher to present their awards. Here are Mrs. Bathgate, Mrs. Hearn, Coach Thorpe, and Mrs. Ballman.
Hello HES, Coach Thorpe here. I am going to announce our Sportsmanship Award winners for this month. Our class award winner is Miss Taylor Brown's 3rd grade class. Congratulations. For 1st grade, we have Mahia Jones and David Randall. Congratulations. For 2nd grade, we have Grace Michaels and Bentley Brown. Really good job. And 3rd grade, we have Reagan Passo and Jack O'Connell. Congratulations.
Hi HES, Mrs. Bathgate here with our awards for art this month. Our Art in the Community award winners this month are Easton Anderson, Jaden Hargrave, Ensley Morris, Aria Hendren, Elena Hunter, and Brooklyn Wilson. And then our class winner for this month is Mrs. French Ward's class. Congratulations.
Hello Wildcats, this is Mrs. Lumen from the library, and I am giving my library award to a class. It started in the 1st of March when we had our book fair. They did an amazing job coming in and shopping at the book fair and just doing the right thing the whole entire time while I helped shoppers. I had kids just being great and being very helpful. So that award, and they've done great all month long. I'm giving that award to Mrs. Mitchell's 1st grade class. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Hi Wildcats, so excited to bring you some more awards today. I want to begin by starting with our class awards, and it just so happens that all 3 of the classes today that have earned the class award, it is their 2nd time this year earning it, so great job. In 3rd grade, congratulations to Mrs. Hawkins' class. In 2nd grade, congratulations to Mrs. Holman's class. And in 1st grade, congratulations to Mrs. Brown's class. Now for the individual music awards. In Mrs. T. Brown's 3rd grade class, congrats to Haley Brown. In Mrs. Comfort's class, Caden Brown. In Mrs. Geary's class, McKenna Lewis. In Mrs. Gerke's class, Cody Vanover. In Mrs. Hammond's class, Waylon Hufford. In Mrs. Hawkins' class, Liam Coltrane. And in Mrs. Hopper's class, Paisley Grass. In our 2nd grade classes, Miss Harrigan's, congrats to Faith Malone. In Mrs. Hastings' class, Storm Taylor. In Mrs. Holman's class, Owen Smith. In Mrs. Knight's class, Grayson Hetterly. In Mrs. Peters' class, Lazarus Bollinger. In Mrs. Siegenthaler's class, Ella Roebling. And in Mrs. Studley's class, Ella Baldwin. And then in our 1st grade classes, in Mrs. Blomquist's class, Everly Connard. In Mrs. Brown's class, Ethan Coltrane. In Mrs. Cooper's class, Macklin Hamilton. In Mrs. Florence's class, Owen Kirch. In Mrs. French Ward's class, Dominic Batista. In Mrs. Hearn's class, Grady Rorvik. In Ms. Maxwell's class, Elias Collins. And in Mrs. Mitchell's class, Kaiser Holt. Good job, Wildcat musicians.
I am Wabi. Next week is...
Okay, do you want to start again?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm Wabi. Next week is National Library Day. So I want to say thank you to Mrs. Lawman. In advance, we love checking out books from the library.
Finally, I'm Benny, and I want to remind you that the last PTO meeting of the year is April 25th at 6:30 p.m. at McKeown. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.
finished writing our opinion essay about a suggestion that would help improve our school. So now they're going to tell you what their suggestion was.
Mine was making a bigger playground for people that will freak if there's not enough room. I think mine should be for a clean space to have boxes that have locks so people can put their stuff.
Mine is we need to get a new playground. It's not safe.
Mine is about free snacks because some kids are going hungry and stuff.
Mine is extra recess.
Mine was having more time at recess.
To be able to play in the grass.
To have more bathrooms.
To have more games to play. To have more time at lunch.
To have a second playground.
To have longer lunch and recess. To have an orchestra and a place for them to play, and so it also teaches you how to build a building for the orchestra to play in.
To have a bigger playground.
To have a longer recess.
To have a bigger playground.